business is a sport.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Like, if we go out and we play, you could play for fun, but I like to play to win.
So what has marriage meant to you guys?
I think it's important, marriage and working together is important. And TereZa was very instrumental in making sure that we work together. You're really wasting time with total strangers instead of your own family. I think where a lot of marriages fail is that they have separate lives, they don't know each other, and then they don't even want to be around each other.
So it was just like, we have to just do something together. So we're, the job and the work and everything kind of forces us together too. And we've enjoyed it. Our relationship grew immensely. We actually connected on a whole different level.
But is there a certain way that you look at success, or would you deem success?
You take success, however your definitions are in all your different divisions, day by day by day. You may not have a successful transaction that maybe didn't turn out the way you wanted, but that doesn't mean the whole day is ruined, just that one fraction in time.
Similarly to business ventures, right? When there's something that's just not working, right? We're hitting a wall, for example. Then we look at each other, we talk about strategy, and we change just a little bit, and it opens up. We're like, that's success.
All right. What's going on? It's a quick little warm up.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast. We connect with movers and shakers, right? In today's episode, I have an amazing couple. I'm excited to have you guys here. We connected a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Right? And just like that, you're here.
That's it.
Time happens so fast, right? So today we have award-winning filmmakers, media disruptors with a background in real estate, bikini, and bodybuilding powerhouses, married with 2 kids that are also actors.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Child
Listen,
actors.
Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So you traveled all the way down here, huh?
We traveled all the way down here. It was worth it. I mean, we see good things, we hear good things, and we always like to just meet people and network.
So, consuming some of your content, it's obvious that you guys are in the content space, so we don't want to talk about, right? You lost some weight.
Yeah.
You got a good amount of weight.
Yeah, good
right?
amount of weight, yeah.
You look like a whole different person,
Yeah.
right? And then you're doing amazing things, right? From two-time bikini professional, mom, like business partners.
Yeah.
You guys are here. You're always together. Like I remember we just talked about the podcast. You're like, we're coming.
Yeah.
Right? Not I'm coming, we're coming. So
we speak French.
we coming. So I want to start it off like what's the importance of working together? And obviously you're married, but like what does marriage really mean to you? A lot of people they may get married and they're just married and they don't really look at it as a business or a team. They're just kind of together for an extended period of time, or maybe some people end up breaking up and don't really end up building. So what has marriage meant to you guys?
I think it's important, marriage and working together is important. And TereZa was very instrumental in making sure that we work together, because if you're apart, you really start growing. A business, different ventures, different people you meet, you start coasting in a different direction. And if you don't bring your family with you, then all you're going to do is see them for maybe an hour or two before you go to sleep. If you're lucky, you're going to have dinner with them. You're really wasting time with total strangers instead of your own family. Mm-hmm. So it's really about architecting and designing your life. And that's what I think meeting the right person can do, and wanting to be around that person. I think where a lot of marriages fail is that they have separate lives, they don't know each other, and then they don't even want to be around each other.
What do you say to that?
I come from a background, I'm from Armenia, so we're a very tight-knit family. And so being with your family all the time, every day, every hour is the norm. So when I moved to the States about 15 years ago, it was very odd to me how people are just so disconnected, and they may, talk and see each other so just only so often. So, when we were together already and we had our kids, I was very busy with the kids and managing their acting and modeling careers. And he, at the time, had just published a book, and he had a book tour. So he's over there traveling to South Africa. He's sending us pictures. I wish you guys were petting this lion or cub or whatever. And the kids are looking and they're like, oh my gosh, like, what is he doing there? So it was just like, we have to just do something together. So we're the job and the work and everything kind of forces us together too. And we've enjoyed it. Our relationship grew immensely. We actually connected on a whole different level where we just understand each other, kind of like a parent, right? Like how would you be as an unconditional parent to your child? You know their faults, you know their good parts, you know their behavioral patterns. So you start learning that and really seeing that about your husband or your wife. And in work situations, when things arise, when conflicts arise, you deal with it differently than what you would do in a different environment. You really care about the person. You really care about the success of this venture. So it's actually amazing how I've even evolved personally and as a mother and as a wife into a whole different position, I feel like.
So was that intentional? Because how you guys met was kind of strategic.
Yeah.
Some of the information.
That's right.
On just listening and watching the journey. So like, has everything always been intentional?
Well, to be honest with you, when we first met, she had a thriving career. She could have done anything because she had just graduated with an accounting degree. She had offers from Deloitte & Touche, one of the top 4 accounting firms. She turned that down to pursue a career in acting and singing. So when we met, she had been talking to record companies and she almost signed a deal with Sony Records.
Or Warner
Brothers. And I had to have a talk with her. I said, look,
I'm glad I didn't. He opened up my eyes and I'm glad I didn't.
So, I told her, look, our relationship is getting serious. I don't see a world where I'm married to J-Lo shaking her ass on stage. I'm a little bit more of an old school guy. I'm more traditional. I'm good. I got us all set up. That she was not really interested in not contributing, not working, not helping, not being, a part of growing something because I had already an established business.
Yeah.
So fast forward to us having 2 kids and her doing a tremendous job managing our children's career and being the world's best wife and mom. She's like, and then I started losing the weight and doing all the transformation stuff. And she started seeing all of that. She's like, wait a minute, I could do the transformation thing too. I want to get in shape. And so it really just started with her really getting involved in doing her own personal transformation. We did a docuseries together where she co-directed, co-produced it because she was already an instrumental part of my original transformation. And she was in that documentary that was watched millions and millions of times globally. And so she had developed a fan base. People were like, man, how can I get my husband to lose weight too? Because in the documentary, we showcased how it was really her idea. And she did all of these strategic things to get me to lose weight, to be around forever. And thank God she did. I wouldn't be here till, if I didn't lose weight during the pandemic. All these things could have killed me. All my friends, a lot of them that were in the documentary died. For one reason or the other. So it's very, very grateful.
That's a timestamp.
It's a timestamp piece. Yeah. So
when you talk about strategy, right? It was strategic to start working together. We said, okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to actually go ahead and train together. So it was almost like layer by layer. We said, let's start training together. Okay, great. So we trained and we enjoyed it, so much. He was my coach. Here I am, a forever athlete. I was a, 3rd place champion from ping pong and a dancer and a swimmer. And he was the fathetic person. He always calls himself fathetic. Yeah, like he's always struggled with weight. He never was able to lose it. So he ended up coaching me to actually gain the muscle and become a fitness model. But along the journey, we recognized so many other things about each other. We said, okay, let's now co-direct and co-produce this next documentary that Amazon Prime commissioned us to do. Because, I've always been in the entertainment industry as an actor. So I've always kind of dabbled into that world. And he was a producer way before, in terms of investing in, Spike Lee movies and letting people come and borrow the house and stuff like that. The house that he had, we sold that house. But, so it was layer by layer by layer when we started enjoying each other more and more. Then we evolved our working relationship alongside of our parental and, marital relationship.
Most people don't realize most couples are in the business of having kids. When you have kids, that's probably one of a business. It's a baby. Well,
I would say most couples don't know that they're in the business to do anything. They just get together.
Yeah.
And digging. So listening to your story, I'm very interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't wait to hear more. Right? Which is why we're on the pod. But I'm just thinking about the landscape of single people right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna just use my example, my experience.
Yeah.
Right. I'm single. I'm successful. I'm making moves. I visualize. I use my affirmations. I make decisions. I make it happen. Right. So when I see someone that I'm like, oh, I might be interested in, I feel like their representatives show up. People's representatives show up. And it's like, because their representatives show up, they don't really show up. It's hard to have real, authentic conversations to really find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that you was very intentional. Yeah. Right? Like, I'm interested in this woman.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I got my eyes on her.
Yep.
And I'm going to plant these seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to focus on this.
Right.
But I feel like, and it could also be, there's a lot going on in America. There's a lot of distractions.
Yes.
People focus on a lot of different things. And I don't think like really finding a family and a partner that you can build with is not necessarily the number one or two things that people are thinking about right now. You know what I mean?
We live in a very temporary shared economy.
Yeah.
You don't even have to own your phone anymore. You can rent it, lease it. Everything is leasing, apartments.
This is a lease.
Exactly. So, but,
wow.
I always say two things because, if you're a religious person and you believe in a higher power or not, people are protected in their own way. Mm. And so if that person is not for you, there's always some sort of divine protection. Either they're protecting someone's protecting them from you or vice versa. It's just not a good match.
Yeah. And I pray for that too.
Yeah. So like,
right.
I think you always got to look at it. If it's going to work, it's going to work almost instantly. It shouldn't be something that's that difficult. Yeah. Like for us, it kind of like gelled and I did it in a genuinely fashion. And, it depends on who you are and what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, I had a tremendous amount of turnover. I needed to be a bachelor. And it wasn't until I was older. And I actually appreciated the fact that I met her at an older age, because when you're running a business, it's not fair to that person because you're dedicated to this. This is really your first wife, the business. So they're being protected from a guy who's going to just really focus on the business and maybe give them 10% of their energy. Or maybe it's protecting you from giving 90% of your energy there and then 10% in your business. And then all of a sudden your real happiness because you haven't achieved what you really wanted to achieve. So it's all about timing. And I think it starts with financing first.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you get yourself set where you don't have to work, and then you could turn around and introduce opportunities to the next person and say, here's the world I want you to be a part of. This train's already moving. Come on the train and see if you like it and we can make these adjustments.
So I got a question for you, but I also want to add on to that.
Yeah.
So there's a couple weeks ago, we were at an event. Actually, I threw a mini mastermind maybe 2 weeks ago now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And we had a VIP dinner. And that was one of the topics. Like, what do you focus on first? Like money or love? And it was semi-heated discussion. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of more on line with what you said. I feel like it's important to get your finances and get your stability set up.
Yeah.
You have more room to, search. But then, like you said, you can bring somebody into your world. I feel like if you do it the other way, it's a lot more at risk for you. You know what I mean? And if you fall for, let's say, love first, but you don't have like a foundation financially to support it, you're going to run into obstacles maybe more readily. Now, the question I have for you is, when he told you that he didn't want, he couldn't see, someone that he's interested in, a wife on stage shaking ass. Yeah. What was your authentic feelings in that moment?
I mean, again, so it doesn't go without sacrificing, right? Yeah. Somebody has to sacrifice a little bit. And like I said, I come from a very traditional family. So I immediately fell into my feminine side of things, right? So I was in America. I became I kind of enhanced a little bit of a masculine side of mine to support myself, to be independent and to succeed and be a go-getter. And then I was dabbling into all these careers and I was like, I'm in America. I got to achieve maximum. I'm an accountant. I got a business degree. I'm an actress. I'm a singer. Let me see what I could do. So that does turn you into this masculine character. At least for me, that's what happened. And, when I fell in love with him and there was this magnetic connection with him, yes, I had things going for me and I wanted that so much because I worked so hard for it. And that was something I've always visualized and envisioned myself to be. But then you're like, okay, let me settle back. What is my purpose in this life? I'm a woman. A woman's purpose is to have children.
But 2024, that could be controversial. You just saying that.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. We have to interrupt it because we're going to talk to you about biohackyourself.com for all things longevity and wellness. We did an incredible documentary that's coming out. To find more, go to biohackyourself.com.
You know what I mean?
I understand in the American culture, yes. In other cultures, this is the way to go, right? So, and I'm actually hearing a lot of people on Instagram are talking about it now openly, that women are just tired of working. And majority of the women are struggling with autoimmune conditions. You know why? Because we have oxidative stress levels that's beyond belief. We have senescent cells, which are the zombie cells. And that all happens because we're taking on too many hats. And the women that do want to welcome their femininity and, be a mom, they're still stuck with the masculine side because they still have to support and, produce and work and make money. And I understand this is the society we live in right now. And there's ways, I've created my own way to work with him where I can continue to be feminine. And, he always says, a woman should know her place. And I'm not saying, again, that could be controversial, but I grew up that way. And I'm actually happy that way. I'm happy to know that he's the leader, he's the head of the family, and he's guiding our family in the right way, which is why he's saying that once you achieve your own success, the woman has more respect for you. Like, I have respect beyond belief for him. So whatever he says, okay, the ship is going this way, I'm like, whatever you say, captain.
I'm rowing this way.
Yeah, who's the captain now? He's the captain.
Yeah.
A lot of women find pride in saying, well, we know who really runs the show. In our household, yes, I come up with some ideas, great ideas. It's like, what? But he gives the final approval. He says, okay, I like that idea. Let's take the ship this way, or let's do this. And then, we strategize things together. We visualize things together. We bring our kids into the room and we say, our family is going through this transition. Like, we're going to do this and this. We're moving to this location. We're buying a studio. Let's say you guys are going to be the stars of a podcast, for example. We're now paying more attention to our kids and what we want to build with them too. So working together has included our entire family, and even the grandmas and the grandpas. Like, the grandmas are heavily involved. Yeah. They're over there on set getting wardrobe ready, and then they get involved into some of the scenes as well.
Yeah.
So it's a family affair, and I think it just starts from, one of the partners being a little more unconditional and sacrificial, but it doesn't come without the trust and belief in the other person.
It's give and give, right? There's a saying, give and take. It's give and give. She gave me, her undivided and her all. And then fast forward many years later, she's a 2-time bikini pro, and I'm screaming, pop the glutes, show the glutes. You got to show the glutes to the judges. So I ate my words where I said I don't see myself, and next thing you know, I'm encouraging her to show the glutes on stage to win a trophy.
Only because of it was a labor of love, and he worked on it.
Okay. In the right environments, clearly as well.
Yeah.
Correct. They're correct.
So, it was our achievement rather than just
together.
Me doing something on my own. And I see a lot of my friends. They have a lot of separation from their husbands. The husbands have their own guys' night out. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, it just evolves, right? Things happen every day. You can't possibly catch up on everything every single second. And, things affect you, and you grow into a different person. And one day you just find yourself completely separated and different.
So what I'd like to hear from you guys, well, I should say this. What I'm hearing from you guys is, and what I can kind of visualize is, like, you're using content, but you're also using your family, right? So it's almost like you're basically directing your life, and you're monetizing what you're creating at the same time.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about, like, married couples or just couples in relationships that I may watch on YouTube, and I love that. Like, they doing things together. They may just be going to the mall, or they might be going on a trip, or they may be going to purchase something. You get to kind of go along with them and experience that. But you guys are really doing it in real time. Yeah. So talk about how you're really disrupting media, because, like, you're creating docs for people, and those docs are really getting those docs is going on real platforms.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with, like, YouTube and social media. But I mean, they're hitting those as well. But they're going on, like, Amazon and stuff.
That's right.
So let's talk about that.
Well, I think a documentary, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's YouTube. Documentary is a Bugatti. A documentary
is a Bugatti.
That's right. Okay. It's rarefied air. When someone is in a documentary, or a documentary is made about you, and the streaming platform like Amazon is willing to support it with the algorithms, That's a big deal. It's a life-changing situation. When you listen to a podcast, most people are talking about a documentary.
All right, y'all, look, I had to interrupt the podcast episode to break down this exciting community that you need to join. Why? Because you're a podcast, you haven't figured out how to monetize. Maybe you're someone that used to be like me, where I didn't really have anyone that can hold me accountable, nor did I have a group that I felt comfortable about, you know what, this is my tribe, I can grow. Well, listen, we put that together.
Podcast School.
I'm teaching you guys monetization secrets, accountability, discipline, how you get better with content. And this is just a group that you want to grow with. Click the link below, join, let's go.
On a podcast show. People take information from podcasts and documentaries. That's where people are learning and educating themselves from those type of things. Talking head situations like this, and also documentaries or documenting life and adding facts and visual aids to help tell the story. Because now everyone's a content creator, but to do a documentary, most of our documentaries are in the millions of dollars in budget. So we put them together really nicely and we craft them with a strategy plan where everyone wins. Everyone that's in our documentary is getting
we do very
so much
collaborative
material.
documentaries. We don't just focus on me, or, about one topic only. We bring on everyone. For example, the latest documentary that's going to go live December 15th on Amazon Prime. It's called Biohack Yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be there for that.
Yeah.
And we included 111 people. We've interviewed 111 people, and most of them are like the who's who in the biohacking industry, like Dr. Daniel Amen, the brain expert, Dave Asprey, the creator of the word biohack, and Jim Quick, another brain expert. We have Bruce Lipton. We have renowned experts.
RFK Jr., the presidential candidate.
It makes our documentary the most influential documentary in health field that's ever been made. And that's what our people at Amazon said. You guys have created a monster. This is going to change lives, because we actually were going through the journey ourselves. And we said, we want to dive into this world of biohacking, discover what these longevity techniques are. Our daughter had a lymph node that popped out of nowhere on her neck, and I was worried because in the regular medical world, they wanted to biopsy it and cut it and stick it and do invasive things. And I'm just not all about that. So we dove deep into that as concerned parents, and it just opened up this beautiful world where other people, our audience, which is the general public, can actually benefit from our journey.
Okay, so a couple questions here too. So when there's an idea, right? How do you then pin? I feel like you have an idea and you pin the monetization on it like pretty quick.
Yes.
So where does that come from?
We talk about this quite often, and I love freestyle rappers and I love freestyle comedians, right? That can just, do crowd work. How do you come up with that joke? How do you come up with, or I watch a lot of stuff on Michael Jackson, how he used to just hum the beat and come up with the melody.
Yeah.
My gift is just monetization.
Yeah.
I know how to, ever since I was a kid, from lemonade stands to drawing on t-shirts to selling stuff to my friends. I just have that ability. I don't know where it comes from, but I know how to monetize and make sure I don't cannibalize myself and get everyone around me eating as well, and include them, be very inclusive. Because I have the saying, intelligence includes, cleverness divides. If you try to be too clever,
Includes
cleverness divides. So don't try to be too clever and cut people out. You got to just include people, make sure you have the right people included. And some people are not forever. It could be a 6-month inclusion, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, but you give people a situation where they can, survive and grow and teach them how to fish.
So when you did your first doc to now, did the monetization strategy grow? Did it change?
The fundamentals were the same, but it was more, I went into it thinking, okay, we did this tremendous transformation. I know my people. In other words, obese. You know what I'm like? I know how to speak their language, and I know my people, which is obese 6 and 7 figure people and 8-figure people, CEOs, founders.
So people that got money, spend a lot of time working and get into it. But
That's right. That's right. So that was my niche. There's riches and niches.
Yeah.
So I was specifically talking to me. And that was really, I think, the secret sauce, is not try to make it so broad. So even when you look at some of the comments on Amazon about the documentary, sure, he lost weight, he's rich, or this, that, but I know a lot of fat, rich people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, look at DJ Khaled. Like, a lot of people suffer from losing weight. So the money is, fatness and obesity has no prejudice.
Yeah, no, he actually had
You know
to
what I
do the
mean?
work.
And I said that at the end of the documentary because you got to put in that work. No, you can't buy somebody to do your push-ups.
So you made me think about this Instagram post I saw. And if I can remember exactly how they showed it. But basically, it was, let's say, somebody was super fit, right? And he was looking out at like an overweight guy in like a Lamborghini. He's like, I wish I knew how to get that. You know what I'm saying? And then the fat guy in the Lamborghini's looking at him because he's shredded.
That's
he's
right.
like, I wish I knew how to get that. So the perspectives is different, right? Because you can be overweight, have all the money, but be lacking in the health area.
That's right.
Which is vital because that means you're either gonna have a lot of time or you might not have any time left, right?
Yep.
And then you could be someone that puts a lot of time on their health, but they're not learning new things, or they're not collaborating, or they're not putting themselves in different situations so they can increase, their finances or take care of their family.
Exactly.
So perspectives are definitely different. So someone that could be listening to this right now or watching this, they're wealthy in a different way. They may not be wealthy in finances, but they have the wealth of health.
Correct. Correct.
So it's very interesting, as you said, there's a lot of people that are 7 figures, 8 figures or more, and they're...
Yeah, I know exactly what they feel. And even in my situation, TereZa was very strategic in really just getting in my head about losing weight, because I had tried everything to lose weight. I even did the gastric sleeve in 2015 where I lost 50 pounds and then I reversed it and gained 70. So even after the surgery of cutting your stomach, I got fatter. So it was a mental problem more than anything else. I just didn't want to give it up. And it wasn't until we had children that kind of upped the ante. And then our kids, as you mentioned off camera, are child actors, right? So now they're booking commercials. And some commercials need the whole family, a husband, a wife, and the kids. They were always choosing her, the mom. And then they were getting a model to replace me. Yeah. So there I am in the Rolls Royce outside pulling up, and then there's a model.
And doing it behind the scenes.
Doing behind the scenes. I'm doing what he's doing, and someone else is there with my kids.
Yeah. How'd that make you feel?
Yeah.
Well, listen, at that time, for me, everything rolls off your shoulder. In fact, when I lost the weight, people were like, I never looked at you as a fat guy because you carried it well. You were almost like a Tony Soprano. Nobody looks at Tony Soprano and says, look at that fat guy. They go, look at that boss, right? So that was my character and who I was, because I was fat ever since I was a child. Yeah. So, but in my heart of hearts, I knew that I wanted to be the best me for her, for my family. And it wasn't until we started a body transformation company where we were coaching and helping other people. Men were calling to me, after watching the documentary, saying I was going to commit suicide until I saw this. When I go pick up my daughter at school, the other kids make fun of me and make fun of my daughter for having a fat dad. Like, what you do to yourself when you have a family impacts the family. You understand? Yeah. So that's the issue. Is my mother also said to me, you've never had to visit me in the hospital. I've never been a burden on you. And she was 80 at the time. So why are you going to do that to your family? Yeah. So I was destroying myself. And so really she pushed it.
But we also understood it's actually not that hard. It is and it isn't, right? The losing weight, it's not really hard. Impossible. Because a lot of the people who are struggling with even 30 pounds weight, right? They'll be struggling with that for 10 years and not being able to get that off. And through understanding the coaching and the meal planning and macroing, you're like, oh, this wasn't hard at all. Like in 6 months, I lost 30 pounds and was able to build massive amount of muscle. So it's all about getting the right coaching. And that's what we show in our second documentary, which is the Super Lollies. It's actually a 6-part docuseries, which really broadens up the entire competition world. How do you get a coach? How do you compete? What federation do you go to? What categories? And how do you actually get to your tip-top shape? A bikini pro shape from being a 2-time mom, for example, or in his case, he became a muscle model pro. How do you go from being a 315-pound guy to being a transformation model and to now winning a muscle model pro category? People are, training and competing for that for years.
It's just the bottom line. You hire a coach or you end up an upside down roach, right? If somebody wants to be a podcaster or be on a podcast, they hire you. The learning curve, the ignorance tax is taken away. Yeah. And that was the main thing for me. If I wanted to really lose the weight, I needed a higher expertise. Yeah. And that's what we did. And then we even went in further and worked with several different coaches in the docuseries. So I even expanded my intelligence by learning everybody's methods.
Mixed martial arts.
How important is the content though?
Content?
Yeah, how important is that?
Well, first of all, now that we have children, we can reference the content, and it's honestly teaching our kids and developing our kids. Our son, Legend, he does like 50 push-ups in a row, and he's only 6 years old. Like, he's looking at all this content that we've done. That's his identity. Our daughter, same deal. That's her. It's proven. It's there.
It depends on who, right?
Right.
Who are you and what kind of lifestyle are you living?
Right.
For you to understand if content is important for you or not. For us, we're in the media world. Yeah. So yeah, content is absolutely key.
I think also content is almost like a wave. Yeah. And you have to have a surfboard, and the wave is pushing you. It's either going to tumble you. So, right. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if you get in the content industry, it's going to force you to think, what can I do that's interesting? And a lot of times you can do something that's interesting that makes money. Yeah. So by having that kind of like thing over your shoulder, where like, I got to produce content, it's kind of like a secret way of saying, I gotta, you know, I can't eat that sandwich because I'm going to be on a runway next week. I can't eat like a pig.
So it's like accountability.
Accountability. Yeah.
Do you think it's important for people to lean more into content now?
Yeah.
Should they be more like taking it more seriously?
Well, we're in an attention economy, right? People are paying, but they're paying with their eyeballs. So, you know, no one is going to give you shine. You know, I recognized that a long time ago. I have PR up the wazoo. I've been in over 2,000 media outlets. I was a regular contributor on Fox, on CNN, on ABC, CBS, all this kind of news. But all of that had to go through PR agencies. I had to really put my
I remember that. Like they were gatekeepers.
They're gatekeepers. Yeah. So you have to be in this, because sometimes you think, oh, someone's going to discover me, or someone's going to say, oh, he's doing this world-renowned work. Yeah. It doesn't work that way. So you have to be able to furnish material, because there's so much talking head material out there that you have to get guidance on how to do it the right way.
Yeah. You got to furnish it.
Yep.
You need to produce.
Yep.
Create those assets.
That's right.
Yeah. So y'all are also in the real estate space.
Yes.
So before I talk about how you're able to kind of balance both, how like tell me about the real estate space. Like what's your angle in real estate? Investors?
Yeah, we're investors. Well, first I had
commercial?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. Not wholesale, but first I started when I was 19. I got my real estate license, became a salesperson at 21 in New York. Okay. At 21, I bought my first building and started my first brokerage. That brokerage grew from one location to 100 locations nationally. And that brokerage had like 2,000 people working for it, of which 100 of them tattooed the company logo on themselves.
I read that. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cult.
It's that. Well, cult is a short word for culture.
Yeah.
So I built a culture. Right. Like that people wanted.
Flip that too.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at people like, hey, you got a Yankees tattoo. Can you get in to watch a Yankee game for free? Hey, you got a tattoo of Bob Marley. Are you part of his estate? Are you getting royalties on that?
Yeah.
So people were like, you know what? I'm making money. I'm making six figures. I love this company.
Wait. Do you got that tattoo?
I don't have any tattoos.
That's crazy.
I have no tattoos.
So you built a culture. Over 100 people got the tattoo. You built the culture.
Yeah.
Your logo?
My logo, yeah.
You don't got it?
I don't got it. Well, I didn't invent the tattoo. What happened was we were renting commercial spaces and apartments. And one of my real estate agents, his name was Adam Altman. He rented to a tattoo parlor, and they were so grateful for the deal we got. They said, let me give you a free tattoo. What do you want? Yeah, he said, you know what? I want to put Lolli's company's logo on me because, you know, they changed the game for me. And then he called me down and I videotaped it. And I did like an internal thing to all the staff. It was like, oh man, I'm going to give Adam the highest company split. Yeah, and then, because you got a tattoo, what else can I do? Yeah. And then other people, hey, if I get the tattoo, can I get the same split? Yeah. I was like, yeah. And then it just turned into, and then the news reported on it. Yeah. And we were positioned as such where we had our own in-house videographer that lived with us. Yeah. And he was able to capture all that content, put it in Dropbox folders, create a website dedicated. So we were able to mass distribute. So we had from all over the world, French and German and Spanish, you know, news outlets. What's his name? Jay Leno reported on it on his talk show. All that stuff. Yeah. So we were prepared. We were prepared. We were prepared to go viral. You know what I mean? So when you manifest before viral. So that was like real mass media viral.
But again, that goes beyond like him seeing marketing, branding, play, an opportunity, and this is where his Picasso comes into the play.
Yeah.
Anything is a money-making opportunity, and anything is a marketing and branding opportunity.
Business is a sport.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Like, you know, if we go out and we play, you could play for fun, but I like to play to win.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to do a Spartan race, my goal is to win the race or at least come in the top 10.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people don't understand that the only measuring stick for business is the points you get is the dollars.
Yeah, but you sound like a different dude. I mean, both of y'all sound like they're like different people. So like, okay, I'm gonna ask you both this because obviously you grew up in two different places.
Yeah.
Where did your mindset come from, and that focus and that determination? Was that from your parents?
Yeah,
Or
my
did you go
mom.
through an experience?
Well, yeah, I mean, my mom's Ecuadorian, my dad's Italian, so I'm half Hispanic. My mom was an immigrant who came to this country with $20 in her pocket, knew nobody, lived in an abandoned building, worked in sweatshops, worked in a beauty salon, and then eventually met my father. So, and then I have a half brother who's from Ecuador, and he lived in Ecuador until he was 18 and came and lived with us as an immigrant. And my dad was a public school teacher. And he, you know, did insurance and taught guitar back when Elvis Presley was the man. Everybody wanted their kid to learn guitar. So he was like a hustler.
Yeah.
Then he graduated, when he retired from being a school teacher, he had a cheap pension. It was like $400 a month.
Yeah, did he do?
He was doing photo with the parrot.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he was
Yeah.
doing photo with the parrot.
So he would take me with him.
And photo with the parrot is basically he would take the parrot outside, take photos with people, and they would pay him for the
They
content.
were
Yes.
big, just like you see photo with the snake.
Yeah.
He put the snake, he put the bird on you, an exotic
Polaroid
bird.
pictures.
Take a Polaroid picture. And my dad was a World War II veteran, so he had a sailor hat, and it said $5 on it. People pay him $5.
Sidebar: Chris Brown's doing that right now.
Oh, is he really?
He's doing crazy pictures with Chris Brown.
Wow, that's
So
nuts.
for like he's on this 11/11 tour. You
Oh.
just made me think of it.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
actually, I just made some content about it because I teach podcasters how to monetize. So I just
Yeah.
want to know for it. So basically, what he's doing is he has a 36 show tour, 11/11 tour.
Yeah.
So for 11/11, $1,111, you pay him.
Backstage picture, yeah. Yeah, there's a line around
And
it.
it's
Yeah.
like it's a crazy picture.
Yeah.
Like, you know, girls is getting crazy pictures.
Oh,
You
got
know
you,
what I'm
got you.
saying?
Yeah,
Like, he's
yeah.
holding them in the hands.
Yeah.
Back shot photos,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But if you look at it, it's a $4 million upsell, right? Because he's doing 100 photos.
That's right.
At 11/11.
Yep.
And you multiply that by the amount of tour stops he has.
Yeah.
It ends up being $3.9 million.
Oh, 100%. More than that, because there's a fan club, there's shirts, there's this, there's that. I mean, Taylor Swift has.
If they're maximizing monetization, strategies,
That's right.
for sure, 100%.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
And then what about you? Because you seem very disciplined, focused.
Yeah.
Like you said, you basically turned on to masculinity.
Yeah.
And you're a professional, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of different ways, even before you met Anthony. So like, where did that come from? Was that
So-
from parenting as well?
I grew up completely different. It was never about money. I didn't even talk or hear about money. We grew up extremely poor, actually. I remember days that we wouldn't even have some dinner to eat, and my dad would probably bring dried fish, and that was our dinner, because that's the time when I was born was when we separated from the Soviet Union. So all we had was our family and our fun times, and no television, no distraction. So I spent a lot of times in my head, in my imagination world.
Using your creativity.
Exactly. So I used my childhood, not intentionally, just that was my life. I started developing this visualization muscle, my creativity muscle. So I can immediately put myself into any situation and feel it, see it, envision it, and then all of a sudden a year later it's happening. So I've kind of become like a mastermind of visualization. But as far as like money, I was never focused on it, even though I, at a young age, I was hustling and doing Latin ballroom dance coaching to second graders, and I was, making my own jewelry and selling it, all because my dad was very strict. He would only give us this much budget as, college students to go and use the transportation and come home. And again, the discipline came from home and from my upbringing. So I would just, want extra cash for like clothing and stuff. It was never like him. It was never like, let's monetize the crap out of everything. But, in my heart of hearts, I'm always like very mission oriented and passion oriented. And I think coming to this world, you have to have a purpose. Otherwise, why are you in this body? Why are these opportunities given to you?
Yeah.
So I look at that angle when we work on things together, and I'm like, okay, well, how do we enlighten the world? How do we, make the world a better place? Like, I literally care about the world, and he keeps calling me, oh yeah, you're Mother TereZa. And I was like, okay. And he actually bought me an LLC, Mother TereZa, as a joke one of the Valentine's Days. Like, here you go, Mother TereZa.
That's
so
funny.
But it's great because we're able to work together, and I'm able to accomplish all of these, mission and passion oriented things through his business savvy. And together we're actually out there making a difference. For example, from the Biohack Yourself documentary, now we're launching the #1 media outlet where everybody can go to actually read and understand the latest and the greatest biohacking news, the newest scientific research, the latest FDA approvals, what did Gary Brecka do last week, or what happened this week in the World Optimization Summit. So all of these information, we're understanding the world is sick right now. We're understanding post-pandemic world, everybody is looking for options, right? At least past 30 years old. And a lot of younger people too are dealing with a lot of autoimmune conditions. Cancer is on an uprise, and, autism and everything. So we recognize there's openness from the public to understand, to welcome this world of biohacking. And then we call it also bio-loving for women. So yeah, we're going to be the outlet to help everybody navigate this world of health and well-being and longevity. So it's not just you have to follow Andrew Huberman or Brian Johnson to get your intel. There's many other people doing many other transformational things that are just not being covered.
Yeah, and after interviewing a lot of the companies and the businesses that you and I had discussed that we put in our documentary, we recognize that they have a science communication problem. They're like, a lot of them are Nobel Prize winning, they're amazing scientists and inventors, but they don't know how to communicate that invention to the general public.
The other side of it.
Right. So we created like a media platform for people to actually publish their stories, their articles, somewhere that's a safe home base. And I think a lot of other, like Entrepreneur Magazine has it, or Forbes Magazine has an outlet to showcase your stuff in the business world, but there's nothing showcasing people in the longevity space.
The only outlet they have is the podcast to get on.
Right.
Or do the expos.
And they might just get on one.
That's
They
right.
might just do one expo.
Yeah, they're busy doing the thing.
And then they have the content and they don't do nothing.
They
with
don't
it.
know how to do
They
anything
don't
with
know how to put it back out.
Yeah. So what we would do is we take content, let's say they would work with you and they go on a podcast tour. Then we're able to take all of that content that you put together and put it on blast on this platform that everybody's going to anyway.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm having a lot of success, right? A lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation. What are some of the obstacles that you guys are facing right now? Is it personal, professional? Do you even look at them as obstacles?
Never. You got to look at it like business is like boxing. Okay, you can't play boxing.
So you get hit in the face?
It's just, I like what Floyd Mayweather says. You could play football, you could play basketball, you could play hockey. You can't play boxing. Boxing is one-on-one, right? So when you're in business, it's you and that client. And, you have to be, and you and the other opponent, maybe a competitor, whatever the situation is. And you have to understand that no fight is the same. No transaction is the same. No podcast show is the same. No transaction or purchase of property is the same.
Yeah.
Everything is very unique and identical. And just like in mixed martial arts, you need to be able to possess all of the different skills to handle as you continue to grow, the sophistication level grows, right? I don't know if you guys remember a guy named Kimbo Slice.
I remember him. Yeah,
He used to be nasty in the street
away.
fight.
Yeah,
He passed away. His son is his successor. Put him in the UFC against other pros. Different.
Yeah.
So as you grow, it's a different level of skills. And if you're not picking up new skills and you're not sharpening your tools, you're going to get eaten alive when it comes to the pros. And the pros is when you're touching millions of dollars. So it all depends on how you approach. So there's never any challenges. It's always learning a new set of skills immediately and just enhancing. But what we're doing with our optimization has really just opened up our minds and our bodies to, like, you ever seen that movie Limitless?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Literally, we're experiencing that through all the optimization and everybody. I mean, working with 113 longevity specialists.
Yeah.
We're like literally their clients.
Yeah,
They've all put us through their protocols, and we've gotten V-cell therapy.
Yeah.
V-cell is like your own stem cells.
Right.
actually. So like they extract a ton of blood. They get the liquid gold and they pass it through laser. And we went to Dr. Todd Avakaitis, who's a Nobel Prize nominee, and he does this proprietary technique where he injected everything intravenously, and our minds are lit up.
Basically, he's taking your blood.
Yeah.
He's mixing it and diluting it,
14
and then
bottles.
doing laser on the body so that the blood goes into the certain parts of the brain and other things.
There's laser and song therapy.
Yeah.
So he
Laser
and
song
therapy. So
frequency.
So first of 14 vials of blood gets extracted, gets spun, and the liquid gold gets separated
from the blood.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Your liquid gold is your own V cells that were actually once active when you were younger, but as you are aging and not really using them, they actually go to sleep and they stay dormant. So then he passes.
Everyone has these.
Everyone has V cells. So then he passes it through a laser. This is a very special laser that activates the V cells.
Wakes them back
now
up.
You have a gushing of
The 18-year-old you.
Even 5, 6, 7-year-old you back into your body. And as he injects it, wherever you want to guide it, you want, brain clarity, you want gut cleansing, you want heart health or whatever, he puts the laser there and he plays
And the
his
stem cells
melodies.
know what to do. They go
They're
and they hunt
attracted
around
to the laser and the sound.
and
so
they
get-
repair. Messed up knee, messed up shoulder, maybe, some brain dysfunction, all of that goes away. But that's just one of 20 different protocols we're doing.
We found out about NAD and how important NAD is, nitric oxide.
Yeah.
Senescent cells was a big discovery. We
Sleeping
actually
protocols,
managed,
REM sleep protocols.
And we test. We test pre, and then we do a protocol, and then we test post, and then we understand what's worked and what
We interviewed the founder of Newcom, right? It's a sound app. You listen to the sound when you go to sleep. He works with Tony Robbins, Jim Quick, amazing people. He worked with the government. So, and even with athletes. So you think they're listening to hip hop songs, they're listening to Newcom using bioharmonic technology to prime their brains.
Sound waves that actually puts your mind to theta brain state, which is the most.
Yep.
Exactly. It's
so,
relaxing state.
we're doing that at night. Our kids
go
are
to
doing
sleep.
that.
Yeah, so y'all can
Fast.
optimize.
Bottom line
And
is
there's more to learn
there's
too.
more,
There's more to every day. This is why we feel like we need this outlet for ourselves. To find out news from ourselves.
Yeah, we had to take 9 months,
door.
interview 113 people to get this information.
Yeah.
We're we got to share it with the world through the documentary, through social media, but now we have the media platform that we're just going to continue to curate this knowledge and give it to the world.
To talk about the challenges, I find ourselves being called into doing more things. Now, as we're doing the right thing and we're kind of with our calling, right? The doors are kind of like floodgates, and there's so many more people coming into our world, and there's so many more people pulling us into different ways. So that's been the biggest challenge for me personally, because I
turning down
have a hard time saying no. And he comes in at a great place and is like, we need to stay focused on what we're doing. And that's the challenge for people. I feel like when they start becoming successful, right, they get pulled into a million directions. And then you can really lose your shirt by taking all the opportunities. And some opportunities can actually be wrong and take you to the wrong direction that you weren't even supposed to go. So that's when you need to put your head down.
The last thing you want to
focus.
do is give 10 effort to a 2 opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing, is identifying it. For us, we're in a unique position where we don't like to sacrifice quality of life, even though we have a strategic advantage of working with each other. If we're dedicating any of our time with each other to someone else or another project, then it is kind of taking time away from us.
So how do you guys determine success? I mean, you're doing a lot. You're successful in a lot of different areas, right? I think, obviously, I know you're super proud of your kids and your family and what you guys built. But is there a certain way that you look at success, or would you deem success?
I think success is different in different divisions, right? So we cherish the beautiful moments with our kids when they're happy.
Yeah.
For anybody, your mom, my mom, everybody, all they want to do is see us happy. So that's all we want from our kids, is them being happy. So if they're happy, we had a successful day. Everything else really falls to the wayside. Right now, the main objective was health first, and we've been able to accomplish that. Now it's sustaining that, making sure that, what we noticed. There's always challenges. Like, my mom is 86 years old. Thank God she's healthy. Half of her friends are dead. The other half, they can't go walking in the mall with her. So, her life is a little bit different, because now the kids, our kids, are her life. They keep her young, are her friends.
They literally come down. They're like, "Did you do your PMF met?
Yeah.
Did you do your red light?" They're
Yeah.
literally putting her through the protocol every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you take success, however your definitions are in all your different divisions, day by day by day. You may not have a successful transaction that maybe didn't turn out the way you wanted, but that doesn't mean the whole day is ruined, just that one fraction in time.
And it's a choice.
Yeah.
Like choosing happiness. I always say happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. You can say, right now, at this particular time in my life, no matter what's happening, I'm happy. I choose to be happy. And the same goes for success. I choose to feel successful because I've done this things, and then I can see that I'm going to do this, and therefore I feel successful. So, when you think about, for example, our success is multifaceted. Career, love life, children, parents, our extended families, all of that into the mix. And we've done a great job with, creating this really tight-knit family where we're just so involved. We're constantly together. And if there's downs, we actually look at that as a success because we overcome it together and we celebrate it. We have charts at home with the kids, likes and dislikes of the day, of each other, or, the situation, like what love, our daughter's name is Love. So Love, what did you like about this situation?
And that's like a positive affirmation all day.
Yeah.
You call your daughter.
We also point out the negative. Yeah. What didn't you like about this? Okay. So what can we do to change that next time? Are you empowered to change it? Or you're not? If you're not empowered to change it, then what is your attitude about it? So there's like a lot of, I feel successful when we do a session like that and then things change. Yeah. To me, that's massive success. Similarly to business ventures, right? When there's something that's just not working, right? We're hitting a wall, for example. Then we look at each other, we talk about strategy, and we change just a little bit. And it opens up. We're like, that's success. So it's all a choice.
This has been great. I'm learning so much. I'm like, I identify a lot with you, but then I also identify a lot with you. I feel like what you guys are doing is great, and you're learning in real time, you're producing real time, and you're putting it out for the people, and then you're showing everyone how you can monetize it, right?
That's right.
And like you said earlier, you're including people along the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So, couple questions, non-business.
Yeah.
So anywhere in the world you can travel. You don't have to worry about business for like a week. Taking the family, where y'all going?
Switzerland.
Oh yeah, she's been dying to go to Switzerland. Yeah.
Cleanest air, cleanest water. I want to experience that.
Yeah, she's been willing it, and then all of a sudden, is it where Volvo? Is it Switzerland? Yes.
It's in Sweden. Close.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
Does Switzerland have like water that they sell?
Well, I don't know.
Like, is there?
I know there's a
I
Swiss
think
Alps.
they're the cleanest water, like the cleanest tap water.
No,
like
I know that, but I was wondering if they actually have water that
like
they,
a bottled water.
Yeah.
We're drinking Ofora now.
That's true.
Swiss
That's
water.
true.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? You didn't say.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, whatever you say.
I mean,
No, what do you want? Because actually, I always say where I want to travel. He's like, yeah, whatever you want.
I'm open. Wherever she wants is, I'm happy as long as we're together.
I also want to go back to Armenia. I haven't been there since COVID, I think.
Yeah, her country.
I miss my land. Just like touching of the ground. Just
Dubai's been calling us a lot. All my friends
true.
have
He
moved
wants to
out
go to
there.
Dubai.
Business associates are moving out there. So, I actually had never been. So I'd like to go and visit.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to ask, well, I feel like you shared one thing, but maybe there's something else. What's something that people don't know about y'all? Maybe it's something, that's a secret. Maybe it's just something that you just enjoy. Like you said, ping pong champ earlier. Yeah. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have thought that. So what's something else somebody may not know about you in
ping pong champion? Oh, I was in Armenian Idol and I made it to top 12.
Oh, that's great.
Armenian Idol. So that was
So you got the good voice for real.
Yeah. Like I was everything entertaining, like sports, entertainment. That's why I never focused on money. For me, it was all just enjoying my life to the fullest and choosing happiness. That was it. Yeah.
I play the piano, classical.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Still. Yeah, I love it.
Goes to when we go through the airports and there's a piano.
You just get on it. I grew up with a piano in the house, but I can't play a lick.
Yeah.
I think it was a Baldwin.
Osmosis. Yeah, we had a Baldwin.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's soothing.
So if there was no real estate, if you weren't doing media, what other areas would you find yourselves in?
Oh, me personally, I love architecture.
Great questions.
Architecture. I always want to be an architect. By as a byproduct, I'm doing real estate. You know, we're developers, and we essentially work with our architects. We have a Zoom with the architect in an hour from now on one of our developments. So I love aesthetics. I love aesthetically pleasing architecture. I study it till this day.
I'm doing what I love, honestly. I wouldn't do anything else. Yeah. I'm a mom. I'm in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I love my husband. I'm a wife. You know, it's like everything that I've envisioned, I'm living it.
Yeah. Our main objective now is to stay young for as long as we can.
Yeah.
So we're doing something very unique that nobody knows, really. We're harvesting our eggs through all of these biohacking techniques and all of these world-renowned people.
Oh yeah, that's something people didn't know.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Who knows that?
So when our children, our son is 6 and our daughter's 8, when they get married and have kids, we're gonna have kids again. So we're gonna be grandparents anyway. So why can't we have kids at the same time they're having kids?
That's gonna be interesting.
So
so they're gonna grow up with this. So their kids are gonna go with their cousins.
Yeah, but they're aunts and uncles.
Aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Aunts and
Yeah,
uncles.
yeah,
So the whole point
Where'd you
is,
get that idea from?
it was her idea, her mom.
My mom actually was inspired by this Russian singer who had 2 kids at the age of 70. And she talks very loudly about regretting having kids at a young age. And she wasn't the mom that she wanted to be. She was always touring around and she didn't raise the kids the way she wanted. So then she did this and she's like the most incredible mom. They have a TV show and the kids are being raised with this like emotional intelligence and everything. So my mom is like, I know you're doing everything right. And I know you're reading all the books and taking all the coaching classes about parenting. But what if you guys had more kids? Because you guys are doing an amazing job. And I know you don't want to take it away from Love and Legend right now, because that's what we said. We said 2 is perfect. Let's focus on them. But then my mom said, you know, they're going to be fine. You know, by the time they're 16, they just invested into their first real estate.
They bought a house.
Because they've been acting actually for so long, for 8 years. If you think about it, they've had a career for 6 and 8 years. They've made money. We've been saving it into their UTMA accounts and we were investing into stocks like normally you would do with child accounts. And we would show them excited. We're like, oh, look, your stock is up, your stock is down, whatever. And they're like, yeah, this doesn't mean anything. So we're like, okay.
They're like, this is red, this is green. What that means?
Yeah, exactly. I can't do anything with this.
As much as we try to explain it, it didn't go through.
Not yet.
So since we're in real estate and we're already, you know, buying and developing, we're like, we saw an opportunity. It was a cute little single family. We're like, what's the down payment on that? Or like, we got that. Let's go. So now they're the youngest real estate investors.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They're doing amazing things, but it's because you guys are putting that foundation together. You're guiding them. And I think that's why parenting is so important, especially now with social media, all these distractions and everything that's kind of taking people away from like connecting. Having a solid foundation within family, I think, is what's going to actually keep people, you know, guided and moving forward. So that's amazing. I want to say
thank you.
Congratulations. I'm proud of y'all.
And we sold all of our TVs. Our iPads are locked in. They only play Lead Chess on iPad.
You see what's going on here. This the logo. That's a digital whiteboard. I don't watch TV like that.
Yeah.
But that's how you keep the kids connected too. You know, no TV.
You don't just give them an iPad.
No way. In restaurants, if they're misbehaving or they're antsy or whatever, and I see a lot of parents struggle, you know, they're tired or whatever, you just take the child out and you say, okay, we can't go back in until you're calmer.
Yeah, no dessert for you.
Huh? No dessert for you.
Yeah,
exactly. You don't just give an iPad. Like we actually, we went through challenges too with that, right? There's terrible 2s, there's terrible 3s. I could have easily given into that. It's so easy. You just put the screen and now you have a peaceful dinner. You can actually chew your food.
Yeah.
But we were like, we're very hard-headed with that. And we're like, no, we're going to talk to our kids, even if it's a scene, even if it's inconvenient. And then all of a sudden at 6 and 8, they're coaching us on life and certain things. So
as we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to share with the people? Anything you have coming up, going on? Anything?
So much to share.
So much going on. We're in pre-production for 2 incredible documentaries. One is called Shield, which is She Healed. It's a woman's documentary. It's being produced by all the women that we've met. It's going to be a woman cinematographer, editor, videographer, gaffer, all women. There's a lot of celebrities that are going to be in it, a lot of medical celebrities and medical influencers that are going to be in it. So we're excited about that. We should start shooting, I believe, in December.
In December, yeah.
We're doing another one about biological dentistry. Both her mom and my mom, they both have metal in their mouth from implants. And after doing this documentary and root canals,
the wrong way.
we recognize that Alzheimer's and a lot of sicknesses, including cancer, came from the toxicity of having mercury in your mouth.
Yeah.
So we immediately discovered that, and we said we need to do a documentary to remove the metals in our mother's mouths and really show the transformation.
And actually show the process of the surgery and everything, and give the dentist the opportunity to talk and explain what should be done.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Biohack Yourself documentary and the media platform, December 15th
in Vegas.
December 15th in Vegas.
I like Vegas.
World premiere.
It's going to be lovely. It's going to be everywhere. You're going to love
Great.
it. You're going to love it.
Okay, guys, we got to interrupt this episode to talk about biohackyourself.com. All news about longevity, health, lifespanning. You guys should check it out. Also, Biohack Yourself documentary on Amazon Prime going live December 15th. The #1 health optimization documentary.
Cool.
Y'all done.
But also the biohackyourself.com platform is going to cover all of this in the articles.
Going to be out before?
It's going to be out
that's
before.
going to be out within the next month.
It's going to be a print magazine, digital media company, outlet, the whole 9 yards.
Gotcha.
So we'll even put pieces of this interview in there too.
So I got a surprise for you. So you like to monetize?
Yes, of course. Yes.
So what I started doing with my guests is, and I'm showing podcasts too. So not all viewers and listeners watch the entire podcast all the time, right?
Yes.
But there's gems in here, and it's sprinkled in different parts of the podcast.
Yes.
So what we do now is we create a digital product with the guest. We take some of the juiciest pieces, all the gems where they can learn, put that in digital product, and now we have our 50-50 revenue share.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So you promote that, I can promote that.
Nice.
And we can always make money together.
That's amazing, man. I love that. That's intelligence
He's
includes
the
right there. I love that.
Yeah.
The power in collaboration is so incredible, and it really incentivizes the other person. And it's really a playbook from Nike. They've been doing it, when they did it with Jordan.
Yeah.
And that really was a game changer. So you making those moves is incredible, man. I commend you for that. Thank you.
It's been great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Great question.
Yeah.
Anthony, this has been a treat. I feel like we definitely got to do a part 2.
100%.
Right? Especially as you, like the biohackings, I feel like there's a whole episode within itself.
Maybe we should do it at the location in Vegas, A4M. It's the biggest medical conference in the world, the American Academy of Anti-Aging.
Yeah.
We feel so blessed that they kind of made us a brand partner because they don't really commiserate or they don't really do anything with anybody. Like they're really, really picky. So for them to say, we want you guys to premiere it here was a big deal for us. So maybe we could do something there. Better get some of those. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Get some of those thought leaders on there too.
All right, guys, welcome. Welcome. All right, guys. It's been another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast. TereZa, Anthony, Lolli. This has been great. We gotta see you on the next one.
All right, y'all. Look, I had to interrupt the podcast episode to break down this exciting community that you need to join. Why? Because you're a podcast, you haven't figured out how to monetize. Maybe you're someone that used to be like me, where I didn't really have anyone that can hold me accountable, nor did I have a group that I felt comfortable about. You know what? This is my tribe. I can grow. Well, listen, we put that together.
Podcast school.
I'm teaching you guys monetization secrets, accountability, discipline, how you get better with content. And this is just a group that you want to grow with. Click the link below, join, let's go. Okay, look, so this is how we're gonna get you more exposure using the pod equals MC square strategy, right? Then we're gonna bring out the air fryer and then connect it to the toaster oven method, right?
I think I wasted my money.
And after we do all this, we're gonna get you 1 million views and millions of subscribers.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got you, let me go get something.
What's this box about? Bro, what is that?
So we got your long form podcast right here, right? This is long form audio.
Okay, now I'm getting my money's worth.
We got a service to get more exposure, get more views, and get more call to action to get more sales.
Let's go.
This is what you need to do to get more of this. Now do you understand?
I completely get the vibe now. Before, I don't know what you was talking about, but this right here, we're gonna make a lot of money.